Almost everyone knows this experience. You're lying in bed, trying to relax, when a conversation from earlier suddenly reappears in your mind. A sentence you said. A reaction you didn't expect. Something you wish you'd explained better, or something you wish you hadn't said at all. The moment replays again and again, sometimes slightly changed, sometimes painfully exact. What makes this experience so exhausting is that it feels involuntary. You don't choose to think about it. In fact, the harder you try to push it away, the louder it seems to return. And because it usually happens during quiet moments, it can feel like your own mind is working against you. But psychologically, this replaying has a purpose. Your brain doesn't replay past conversations because it enjoys torturing you. It replays them because it believes something is unresolved. The human mind is deeply uncomfortable with open loops. When an interaction feels incomplete, when something important wasn't said, understood, or acknowledged, the brain keeps it active. Not as punishment, but as a signal. From the brain's perspective, unfinished social situations represent uncertainty, and uncertainty feels risky. Social interactions matter deeply to the human brain because, historically, belonging meant survival. Being misunderstood, rejected, or judged carried real consequences. Even though modern conversations are rarely life-threatening, the emotional systems that monitor social safety still react as if they are. This is why your mind replays conversations more often when they involve embarrassment, conflict, or emotional vulnerability. These moments trigger your brain's threat detection system. The brain starts asking questions it couldn't answer at the time. Did I say the wrong thing? How was I perceived? What should I have done differently? Replaying the conversation is your brain's attempt to find clarity after the fact. Another important reason these replays happen is control. When a situation is over, you no longer have the ability to influence it. That loss of control creates tension. By mentally revisiting the moment, your brain regains a sense of agency. It imagines better responses, stronger explanations, or different outcomes. Even though nothing changes in reality, the mental rehearsal provides temporary emotional relief. This is also why the replay often becomes more critical over time. The brain isn't simply remembering, it's editing. Each replay adds judgment, interpretation, and self-evaluation. What began as a neutral memory slowly turns into a narrative about what the moment meant, and that meaning is usually harsher than reality. The brain has a negativity bias, especially in social contexts. It gives more weight to potential mistakes than to moments that went well. Compliments fade quickly, but perceived errors linger. From an evolutionary standpoint, this made sense. Social mistakes could cost trust or status, so the brain learned to analyze them closely. But in modern life, this mechanism often overshoots. Another layer to this experience is identity. Conversations aren't just exchanges of words, they're reflections of who we believe we are. When a conversation doesn't align with our self-image, when we sound less confident, less kind, or less articulate than we want to be, it creates internal conflict. The replay isn't just about the conversation, it's about the question beneath it. Is this how others see me? That question is emotionally charged, and the brain doesn't let it go easily. Silence amplifies this process. During the day, distractions keep the mind occupied. At night, or during quiet moments, the brain finally has space to process unresolved emotional material. That's why replays often show up when you're trying to sleep. It's not that the mind is sabotaging rest, it's that it finally has the quiet it needs to work. The problem arises when replaying stops being reflective and becomes repetitive. Reflection helps you learn. Rumination keeps you stuck. The difference isn't always obvious, but it matters. Reflection leads to insight and resolution. Rumination circles the same thoughts without reaching new understanding. When the brain senses that replaying isn't reducing uncertainty, it increases the intensity, hoping repetition will eventually produce clarity. But clarity doesn't come from replaying the moment over and over. It comes from understanding what emotion the moment triggered. Often, the emotion isn't about the conversation itself. It's about fear of judgment, fear of rejection, or fear of being misunderstood. Until that emotion is acknowledged, the brain keeps bringing the memory back, like a reminder you can't dismiss. This is why telling yourself to stop thinking about it rarely works. The brain interprets suppression as avoidance, not resolution. What it needs isn't force, but reassurance. Understanding this shifts how you relate to these mental replays. Instead of seeing them as evidence of overthinking, you can see them as signals. Signals that something felt important, vulnerable, or unresolved. When you approach the replay with curiosity rather than frustration, its intensity often softens. The goal isn't to eliminate these thoughts entirely. That's unrealistic. The goal is to recognize when the brain is stuck searching for certainty where none is needed. Most conversations don't require perfect performance. Most moments aren't judged as harshly as we imagine. And most people are far more focused on themselves than on replaying your words. When the brain understands that the social threat has passed, the loop begins to close. So if your mind replays past conversations, it doesn't mean you're broken or obsessive. It means your brain is trying to protect your sense of belonging and identity. And once you understand that, those replays lose some of their power, because they no longer feel like attacks, but like echoes of a mind that cares deeply about connection.